Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Junior Garcia, and here are some of the stories we have for you tonight. St. Croix prison officials grapple with the escape of rapists. Governor D. Young talks territory finances, and the Senate overrides governor's veto. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
TV8 News is brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total, you know where to turn.
In our top story, now that escaped rapist Raphael Joseph is back behind bars, prison officials on St. Croix held a press conference yesterday to discuss the brazen security breach and to find ways to ensure it doesn't happen again.
This started at 3:05 a.m. when the police notified us that someone had filed a report, and they asked whether Mr. Joseph Raphael was still in prison. At 3:20, we did a head count and found that he was missing, and so informed the police. After that, we went into a recovery mode, attempting to find the Mr. Raphael. We had a sighting, a confirmed sighting at about 8:05 this morning. And at 11:58, we got a call from VI Police Department that they had spotted him and captured him.
We are conducting a preliminary investigation at this point to find out how he escaped.
I was first notified of the inmate being had escaped at about 5:30 this morning, and speaking with Chief James Paris, then we started putting our folks together to start a team to get together to start looking for him. Our special reaction team was activated along with other officers. We had planned to look in a specific area in where the person was before, and that basically is where we found him. At 11:41, there was a spotting of the individual on Strand Street in Frederickstead that came in. Officers went into that area to look. Again, at about 11:55 a.m. in the vicinity of Claudio Marco School, officers went down a dirt road into the bush and captured Mr. Joseph, returning him to custody.
He breached the outer security fence and escaped outside the prison. Well, he initially was inside the housing unit and escaped from inside the housing unit and breached the fence.
The last time you had eyes on him before the escape was 9 o'clock last night. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was a normal prison head count?
That's correct.
Okay. Is there any indication or any reason to believe that he had help either from outside or inside the prison in making his escape?
At this point, we don't believe so, but we're still conducting our investigation.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out how he manipulated locks and got out without being seen.
Earlier today on local talk radio show Straight Talk, Governor John D. Young Jr. discussed the financial crisis facing the territory and his administration's role in remedying it.
When it leans back on the executive branch, and we're talking about generically, we're not talking about you as governor, any governor, I've seen this happen before. If they don't deal with some of these issues, you're going to have to cut allotments, right? And you're going to have no other choice but to deal with personnel and this and that. You don't have any choice, do you?
I don't have any choice.
Well, then but I'm not saying that's what you're going to do, but unless there is some consequences to somebody's action and cooperation between the two branches, what choice do they give any governor in this situation?
Yeah, but the worst part is, and the most difficult, is to have to make the personnel cuts. I'm trying as hard as possible, and I'm trying to stay away from that as much as I can, because one, we're now at the point where we're down to 5,000 government general fund employees.
And people don't realize that.
I have people doing double shifts. I have people who are tired from overtime.
Sure.
And I can't afford, right now I can't even find people to be able to hire in certain categories. So it is difficult. So,
sure.
But I can deal with certain areas. What is difficult for me to deal with is areas such as when we look to the future. I've had legislation down there since January 27th, 28, that I can look at investing $500,000 in schooner base. So I can go talk to the small upscale cruise lines so that we can generate some more activities part of our Christian State redevelopment. I have some monies in that, that with respect to dealing with our roads. People are complaining about our roads every day. And I have legislation down there since the end of January to look at it. People are concerned about security. I have monies in that we've been able to identify from the Community Facilities Trust Fund, which comes from Diageo revenues, to put up cameras. I have officers that are complaining that our telecommunication systems with the radios too open, that I can get it certified. These are places where real cash exists that we can move on to give all these certainties that is just being sat on.
New tonight, a largely united Senate yesterday overrides 2 of Governor John DeYoung's vetoes to prohibit territorial archives from being housed in the Ined M. Ba Library and remove a expired $450,000 appropriation for schools fencing from this year's budget.
Mr. President, I have a motion to override Section 8 of Act Number 7580, Bill Number 300158. Mr. President, this is to override that section which speaks to an encumbered balance of $450,000 that is in education to be used for the fencing of the Gomez School. My colleague, Senator Gittins, have told me, please, we need to do it, because I don't want to continue hearing his voice all over the place. So, Mr. President, I move that the body overrides Section 8 of Act Number 7580. It was handed out earlier. I shall move, Mr. President.
Only 8 votes were needed to consider the override. Now the question is, will the Senate override the governor's veto of Section 8 of Act 7580? The 10 votes are needed to override. Roll call.
Senator Bashir? Senator Bashir absent. Senator Buckley?
Yes.
Senator Buckley, yes. Senator Capehart?
Yes.
Senator Capehart, yes. Senator Cole?
Yes.
Senator Cole, yes. Senator Gittins?
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yes. Senator Graham? Yes. Senator Graham, yes. Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen? Senator Hansen absent. Senator Jackson?
Yes.
Senator Jackson, yes. Senator Malone?
Yep.
Senator Malone, yes. Senator Nelson?
Yes.
Senator Nelson, yes. Senator O'Reilly? Senator O'Reilly, yes. Senator Payne? Yes. Senator Payne, yes. Senator Roach?
Yes.
Senator Roach, yes. Senator Sanis?
Yes.
Senator Sanis, yes. Senator Millen Young? Absent. Mr. President, 12 yes, 3 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Section 8 of Act 7580 to appropriate, to make available the $450,000 for Gorman School to fence the school has been overridden by this body. And the governor and lieutenant governor be notified.
In other news, nominations for the WAPA board were presented to and met the approval of the Virgin Islands legislature yesterday.
I will be in support of all the 3 nominees. Like most of you, I had opportunity to question, really more so Mr. Francois, and briefly and Golden. I am aware of Ms. Boynes' background and her service to the WAPA board. I didn't have to go in too deeply into her because I dealt with Mr. Francois in terms of the board's overall direction for reducing energy costs in the territory. His answers were satisfactory, and the authority is clearly on the right path, given the infrastructure they have, given the resources they have, the resources that they have to reduce the cost of energy. What people need to remember, and I kept that in mind as I was listening to him, is that we have a system that is old, and unfortunately, because of past leadership of the authority and even lack of a proper regulatory agency like the Public Services Commission that's not properly set up yet, and I have legislation to improve that situation, you would have seen a more accountable system at the Water and Power Authority, from buying equipment to maintaining equipment, how fuel is purchased, customer service issues, line losses, a number of issues. Because I served at the PSC and had the opportunity to review and delve into a number of the issues that contribute to the expensive cost of energy in this territory today.
Stay tuned. We have more news after this.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
Now here is Ashley Messiah with this week's Crime Stoppers Report.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ashley Messiah reporting your weekly Crime Stoppers. Crime prevention is up to all of us. If you know something, say something. Make sure no crime goes unsolved. Even the smallest bit of information may be just what law enforcement needs to solve the following cases. St. John. Police received a report on May 2nd at about 10:45 p.m. from a female stating that she had been assaulted by a man in the area of downtown Cruz Bay. While on the beach, the suspect walked over to her using obscenities and punched her in the right shoulders and punched her to the ground. The victim kicked him and ran to the water escape. He fled the area. The male is described as being black with a medium build and has a beard and mustache. St. Croix. Help close this cold case. On Monday, November 5th, 2012, at about 2 p.m., police were dispatched to Estate Scenic Road where they discovered an unresponsive male lying in a grassy area. The minor was later identified as 16-year-old Emery Christopher of Estate Mount Pleasant. When found, he was fully dressed wearing a black shirt, blue jeans, white ankle socks, and a black sneakers. He was last seen in Lorraine Village Mutual Homes housing area. Police are asking for your help in finding who is responsible for the young man's death. His family and friends needs closure. St. Thomas, on April 27th at 7 p.m. in the area of Windward Passage Hotel, multiple shots were fired and 3 male victims were sustained gunshot wounds. The police do not know who fired the shots. If you have any information about this, please call us. Step up. Tell us what you know about these or any other crimes at www.crimestoppersusvi.org or by calling 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Or by texting USVI plus your message to crime. That's 276437. Please note our technology makes it impossible for anyone, including us, to find out who submitted a tip. To learn how we do this, visit our website and click on How It Works. Crime Stoppers is still run entirely by volunteers with no paid staff. To become a volunteer and help the VI, please email us at crimestoppersvi@gmail.com. This is Ashley Messiah reporting your weekly Crime Stoppers for News Channel 8.
Representatives from the financial services firm Morgan Stanley will visit St. Croix tomorrow to present a proposal to the Virgin Islands government as part of Senator Terrence Positive Nelson's Virgin Islands infrastructure plan. Senator Nelson has more.
Good day. I'm Senator Terrence Positive Nelson. I'm here to tell you, the listening public, that there's a great opportunity presenting itself to the Virgin Islands. A couple of months ago, I told you of a group of investors who I've been working with in making some investment here in the territory, Global Trade and Finance. Well, they have returned this week of May 12th through the 16th. And on Wednesday, the 13th of May, the 14th of May actually, we're actually having a meeting, a very interesting meeting, and that's with the representatives of Morgan Stanley. These representatives are here because we are in pursuit of a $4 billion debt restructuring and economic stimulus loan. The idea is to restructure the total debt of the Virgin Islands and infuse stimulus into the territory of some $2 billion in projects, infrastructure projects, small business refinance, paying off the retro, paying off WAPA's bond debt, with the focus of putting all our debt in one package, and the stimulus from the economic activity from these payments and these projects will see us in some kind of economic stability, at least for the next couple of decades. It's very important that you, the public, encourage all of the public officials, elected public officials, to be present. I do have confirmation of some 8 senators, the finance commissioner, and the bond advisor, Mr. David Paul, should be present as well. And again, there's no guarantee here. They're coming, Morgan Stanley is coming to make a presentation to us as to the feasibility of this bond debt restructuring loan and to see our ability to pay this back. They have come with an interest. They've done some cursory review of our background already. So they have come now to tell us what the options may be and how we might possibly move forward. So I'm very excited about this, even though it's not a done deal at all. It's just a presentation being made to us of the available options and the directions we can go in. But I think it's a great opportunity for us because the challenges we have currently facing us, we're at critical mass. The revenue streams which are currently being worked on in the legislature and the revenue collection which the executive branch have currently pursued, they are not going to garner enough revenues to address some outstanding problems here in the territory. This is the one way we can fix multiple problems all at the same time while putting people to work. The purpose of this package is to put people to work. If we were to be successful in getting this this loan from Morgan Stanley or through Morgan Stanley, we'll be able to put at least a couple thousand people to work in a very short time. So I look forward to this meeting with Morgan Stanley tomorrow. It will take place. I'm not going to disclose the location. It is for invited individuals only, and that's the senators and the our governor and the Commissioner of Finance and Mr. David Paul. And at some point in the future, maybe we'll be making a presentation to you, the public. But people, I just want to give you some hope that there's something being worked on that can address our energy, can address our employment issue, and of course, our total economic situation. So I look forward to this discussion, and I will report to you to give you an update as to what transpired at that meeting. I thank you very much.
Don't go anywhere. We have more news straight ahead.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
As the territory continues to explore mental wellness this month, let's find out more from Rita Dudley Grant, a local mental health professional.
My name is Rita Dudley Grant. I am from the Virgin Islands, born in St. Thomas and raised there. Went through the 10th grade at All Saints School and then moved on to college, finished high school in Massachusetts, and then went to college in Boston, went down for 3 years of graduate school where I studied clinical psychology, and then moved back up to Boston and continued to live there. So essentially I tell people that I'm a Virgin Islander by way of New England. And essentially when I got back, and began to work in the community and realized that people's health and well-being is as much a function of the systems and the environment and the situations that they live in as for themselves, right? But the importance of empowering a person to understand that and being able to take responsibility so that instead of being victimized by the system or by the environment, you are actually able to use that as an opportunity to grow. I want you to understand the subtle workings of your mind, how you orient your mind, the kind of attitude you take greatly influences both you, yourself, and your environment. The Buddhist principle of a single life encompassing 3,000 realms completely elucidates the true aspects of life inner working. Through the power of strong resolve, we can transform ourselves, those around us, and the land in which we live. In other words, this, in a sense, I love commercials. They have such wonderful messages. And one of them that I love to listen to all the time is Christian Mingle. So, you know, Christian Mingle. Oh, we now have like 2 million people signed up, and you know, and you can definitely come and, you know, meet someone that is of your like-mindedness. And many times people are saying, God help me, and God is saying to you, it's your time to act. And that is exactly what we're talking about. That's what this whole month of mental health and mental wellness is about.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is up next.
Your weather, coming up next. Your weather.
And here's a look at your local weather.
Tonight, scattered showers mainly after 8 p.m. Partly cloudy with a low around 80. East wind 18 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts of less than a tenth of an inch possible. Wednesday, scattered showers mainly before noon. Mostly sunny with a high near 80. East wind 14 to 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts of less than a tenth of an inch possible. Wednesday night, scattered showers, partly cloudy with a low around 79. East wind around 18 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts of a less than a tenth of an inch possible. Thursday, scattered showers, mainly before noon, mostly sunny with a high near 80. East wind around 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts between a tenth and quarter of an inch possible. Thursday night, scattered showers, partly cloudy with a low around 80. East-northeast wind around 17 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. New precipitation amounts of less than a tenth of an inch possible. Friday, scattered showers mainly before noon, mostly sunny with a high near 80. East wind 14 to 16 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 30%. And Friday night, isolated showers, partly cloudy with a low around 79. East wind around 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And this is S.C. Gaston Edwards with your News Channel 8 Weather Report.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in. That's all we have for local news. Do not forget to like us on Facebook at WSVI-CH8. You can also follow us now on Twitter at WSVI-TV News. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Junior Garcia, and World News is up next. Good night, Virgin Islands.
TV8 News was brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total. You know where to turn.